This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 25 is also brought to you by Silver State Health, Pahrumps exclusive pediatric care clinic. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Well, it's a little breezy out there today on this Wednesday. We hope you're enjoying it. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
John will have your full weather forecast coming up in just a little while on the March 3rd edition of News 25. I'm Missy Kohler.
Well, a Nevada Highway Patrol trooper makes a traffic stop in Elko County. It ends with a Utah man under arrest and facing kidnapping charges.
25-year-old Santiago Nieves of Taylorsville, Utah, is being held at the Elko County Jail and facing a charge of second-degree kidnapping. A Nevada Highway Patrol trooper stopped Nieves on Interstate 80 near the West Elko exit for a speed violation. But the Highway Patrol says the trooper quickly suspected something wasn't right as he spoke with Nieves and a 15-year-old female passenger. NHP says through investigation, troopers discovered Nieves and the juvenile had met online and had intentions to travel out of the country without permission from the girl's parents. Nieves was arrested and booked into the Elko County Jail. The girl was transported to the Elko County Juvenile Detention Center, then released to her parents. NHP says the Elko County District Attorney's Office is reviewing the case.
One man is transported to the hospital after a two-vehicle crash Tuesday at the intersection of Basin Avenue and Floyd Street in Pahrump.
Just before noon today, traffic was diverted around a two-vehicle accident involving a compact car and a tractor-trailer on Basin Avenue. One person was taken by ground ambulance to Desert View Hospital via Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue ambulance. That person appears to have suffered minor injuries sustained as a result of this crash. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies are investigating the cause. Nevada Highway Patrol and Nye County Sheriff's Office auxiliary units were on scene as well, assisting with traffic control. Traffic was backed up at Floyd Street and Basin Avenue for the COVID vaccine clinic, which may have been a factor in this accident. Well, a man, troopers say, crashed through a construction area, then wrecked his car and ran off into the desert, is now under arrest and facing a long list of charges.
Ruben Salgado-Arroyo is facing a total of 9 charges, including DUI, reckless driving, driving the wrong way on a one-way road, disobeying a peace officer, and resisting arrest. Salgado-Arroyo was arrested February 24th after an incident that started in a construction area on US 95, about 20 miles north of Beatty. Traffic was being controlled by a light and a pilot car escorting traffic through the area. A trooper stationed at the work zone says after being stopped for about 10 minutes, Salgado-Arroyo drove the wrong way toward oncoming vehicles, crashed through traffic cones, and reached speeds of 80 miles per hour. The trooper says Salgado-Arroyo nearly struck the pilot car head-on before losing control of his vehicle and driving off the roadway down an embankment. The trooper says Salgado-Arroyo then took off on foot, running into the desert. Because the trooper was alone, he did not immediately pursue him, but did radio for backup. NHP says they tentatively identified Salgado-Arroyo by checking his vehicle's registration. In the process, troopers discovered Salgado-Arroyo had an immigration and customs warrant for his arrest, and the records check also showed he had previous charges of being in possession of firearms. Troopers eventually caught up with Salgado-Arroyo about 3 miles from where he ditched his vehicle on Nellis Air Force Base testing range, federal land. Nevada Highway Patrol says troopers ordered Salgado-Arroyo to stop multiple times, but he continued to run until eventually he suddenly stopped and laid on the ground with his hands up. While being medically assessed, troopers say Salgado-Arroyo was showing signs of possible impairment. After refusing a breath test, a judge granted a warrant for a blood draw, which was done at Desert View Hospital. Salgado-Arroyo was booked into the Nye County Detention Center. NHP says immigration told them their warrant was administrative and would have to be processed by a deportation officer once Salgado-Arroyo's identity is confirmed.
We'll be back with more News 25 in just a few. Stay with us.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest-reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Thanks for staying with us. Merck is teaming up with Johnson & Johnson to produce more of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. Rocket Mortgage stock prices surge, and a Nike executive is stepping down amidst a scandal involving her son. More in the business report now.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, President Biden says Merck and J&J are giving a partnership a shot. The two drug makers will work together in a blockbuster deal to produce J&J's COVID-19 vaccine. Rocket Mortgage is suddenly getting a lot of attention on the Reddit website. On Tuesday, shares of Rocket companies rallied the most since its IPO last August. That stock has a large amount of hedge funds who are shorting shares, thinking it would go down. Now that it's going up, the stock is surging in a short squeeze, similar to GameStop, as funds are now forced to buy back those shares. A top executive at Nike, Ann Herbert, is stepping down. Bloomberg News reports she has ties to her son's alleged money-making scheme of buying sneakers at one price and selling them at another. No other comment was given.
Thanks so much, Angela. Well, the Southern Nevada Economic Development and Conservation Act was introduced into the U.S. Senate today by Nevada Senator Catherine Cortez Masto. The bill proposes protections for more than 2 million acres of sensitive lands, including beloved places like Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area and Desert National Wildlife Refuge. The bill also calls for the expansion of tribal trust lands, land set aside for more affordable housing, and provides opportunities for economic growth in Clark County. The legislation was built in consultation with local, regional, and national stakeholders after years of collaboration. The bill, they say, provides Southern Nevada with the necessary tools to ensure that we are meeting the demands of our citizens, including the need for affordable housing, small business growth, and accessible outdoor recreation areas for our residents and visitors, while maintaining our responsibility to preserve our wildlife habitats and endangered species.
Director of Emergency Management Chief Scott Lewis reported to the Board of County Commissioners yesterday, and things in Nye County continue to improve COVID-wise.
Our COVID trajectory is improving. We remain in a flag status as I speak, and because of our elevated test positivity rates is 8.7. We are nearing the threshold to take us off flag status, as that threshold is 8%. Our vaccinations. The vaccinations continue well underway. We have 2 pods that are being completed both in Tonopah yesterday and today, and we're doing a massive pod here in Pahrump tomorrow with hopefully between 400 and 600 vaccinations. Other Nye County pods have existed with the Veterans Administration, Desert View Hospital, and our pharmacies. Our vaccines are received at an 1 week increase, and we are starting to see those increases come to our tables and into our arms. Additional pods have been held across the county, with one yesterday, today in Tonopah, as I mentioned. Further pods are scheduled this week in Pahrump, including the Veterans Administration this coming weekend. Pahrump Fire Rescue is assigned to assist in that endeavor and to make sure that our veterans are safe. We also continue to open additional tiers and lanes to get more people vaccinated, and are lowering the threshold of the age to 65. A new vaccine from Johnson & Johnson is a single dose with approximately a 70% efficacy rate is now in our hands. We are going to be addressing target audiences following recommendations of the CDC and state health. Our team consists of Department of Emergency Management, including Aries and Races, Pahrump Valley Fire Rescue, the Nye County Sheriff's Office, who is out there helping us provide security, escorts, and traffic and pedestrian management, Nye County Administration, Immunize Nevada, Battleborn Group, State Health, and a host of other local volunteers who have come out and help us with our pods every week. Our team continues to work tirelessly and without complaint to complete respective COVID-19 missions. I would like to remind everyone on the contacts, nvcovidfighter.com for those that have internet service, and for those that don't, telephone number 775-751-6313 or 800-401-0946. Again, those last four is 0946.
Well, Death Valley National Park reports visitation started off strong last year, but then came the pandemic.
In 2020, 820,000 people visited Death Valley National Park, about half the number that visited the park in 2019. And had it not been for coronavirus, the park would have likely had a banner year. Death Valley had its third busiest January with 99,000 visitors, and the park nearly tied its busiest February with 128,000 visitors. Then, during what is normally Death Valley's busiest month of March, the pandemic's impact on travel caused visitation to drop 37% from 2019 to 112,000. The numbers tumbled from there as most of the park closed on April 4th, limiting visitation to through traffic on two major roads. Visitation dropped 90% with 18,000 visitors in April and 20,000 in May. Most of the park reopened June 26th, but most summer visitors are international travelers, and because there was a lot less travel, Death Valley recorded 30 to 40,000 visitors per month in June, July, August, and September, down about 75% from the previous year. But Death Valley recorded a big rebound as 2020 came to a close. 67,000 people visited in October, down 52% from 2019, and November was a tie for the park's busiest November with 132,000 visits. And despite the closure of lodging in December, Death Valley had its third busiest December on record with 94,000 visitors. Campgrounds and lodging in the park are now open again, and park rangers say visitor interest is high. Reservations are fully booked for the remainder of the season at Furnace Creek, the park's only campground with a reservation system. Other nearby campgrounds are available on a first-come, first-served basis. And just a reminder, masks are still required at all National Park Service buildings and facilities.
So after you've had your COVID vaccine, how soon can you visit the seniors in your life, and how careful do you need to be? We've got that answer coming up in the Health Report just after the break. Stick around.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Welcome back. As the COVID-19 vaccine rollout continues across the U.S., some grandparents may be vaccinated and looking forward to visiting with their loved ones again. But a doctor with Cleveland Clinic says precautions are still necessary.
It's been such a hard thing for many older individuals to be isolated and away from family, to be using social media and video as a means of communication, but you lose that human touch that has been so important.
Dr. Ronan Factora is a geriatric medicine specialist with Cleveland Clinic. He says before you schedule that happy post-vaccination reunion, there are a few precautions you should take. It's important to remember the COVID-19 vaccine is most protective about 2 weeks after the second dose, and even then, it's not 100% effective. So when you do plan your next visit with grandparents, masks and social distancing are still important. He also advises gathering in a smaller group or doing something outdoors to further reduce risk. You should also think about where you've been recently and if you could be at risk of spreading the virus. And he reminds us we can't let our guard down just yet.
There are more opportunities for us to actually socialize in the future. This is one of those steps in that direction. We have to celebrate that for sure and take advantage of it, but we can't let go of the things that we've gotten used to in the last year. That's not the message that everyone wants to hear. We really want to be rid of all of this. But it is a road that we have to travel, and we're going to get there. It's just going to take some time.
He says it's hard to say when visits can completely go back to normal. It depends on a couple of factors, like case numbers dropping to a certain level and more people getting vaccinated.
Thanks so much, Brad Francis, for that report. Well, today we're back in the cat room for our Save a Pet. Here's Darbie O'Donnell, who introduces us to Tabitha.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darbie here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Tabitha. We named her because she is a beautiful orange tabby, so she's Tabitha the Orange Tabby. She's about a year old, extremely sweet, very calm personality. When they picked her up, her little card says that she's as sweet as she could be. She did come in as a stray. She's just a little sweetheart. She has beautiful orange coloring, the orange stripes with the little white paws, and she has beautiful, gorgeous gold eyes. If you want to come and see Tabitha or any of her friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, give them a call ahead of time to make an appointment. 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler on location for KPVM Channel 25. We're outside of Battleborn Financial. They've got all kinds of great insurance products and things to make your life worry-free, and that's pretty good on a day when you're observing weather like this. I'm worried about the wind blowing over this tripod. I'm worried about the rain going to get my hair less pretty. There's lots of stuff to worry about, but I've got Battleborn, so no worries. All right? I'll tell you about the weather and everything coming up in the next week when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and let's take a look at the weather scores up and down the state. Top part of the state, you're seeing pretty much upper 50s. All the way down to Goldfield for your high temperatures, midway through the 20s on the low end in the evenings. As far as Beatty and Amargosa goes, heating up a little bit, 64 degrees, 68 in Amargosa, all the way up to 70 degrees in Las Vegas. Congratulations. Lows tonight about 45 in Vegas. Death Valley, you're seeing as much as 78, as little as 48 this morning. And let's take a look at the paradise of Pahrump, where the air is pure and the grass is green and irrigated. 63 degrees is our current temperature. 67 was the high today, and a bit of bluster. Yes, there was quite a bit of wind. Started kicking up about 10 o'clock. Stuff toppling over in the yard. It was fantastic. Sun rose this morning at 6:10 a.m. Sets this evening in about 20 minutes. 5:41 p.m. is the official day it drops, and the humidity making for some nice cloud cover. It's going to be a gorgeous sunset. Suggest you step outside and look at it, and then appreciate what we've got coming up this next couple days. A calm in the storm of wind that we've been experiencing. Thursday and Friday is going to be just gorgeous, 74 degrees for a high, and then the wind returns. 17 miles per hour, pretty much what you can expect for the next 4 or 5 days starting Saturday, and temperatures dropping down to a little more seasonal normals at about 60 degrees on the high side. So there's your weather report. Hope that informs your weekend and your plans, and I hope it's going to be a great weekend for you coming up. Let's just plan for it, okay? I'm doing that right now. Back to the desk. It's Missy and Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. Well, you know, this Saturday, there's an event, of course, the Never Forgotten Animal Society. They're having a fundraiser, and that is going to benefit all those animals there. And, you know, it's at the Wine Ridge RV Resort, and that's right up Winery Road.
Okay.
I went to this last year, and I got to tell you, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
People bring gifts, and then they auction them off.
Oh,
so you can pick whatever
idea.
kind of things you want, and kind of some gag gifts, too. And it's only $10 to attend. You have to bring a gift, of course, but it earns a lot of money for this animal rescue, and it's from noon to 3 on Saturday at Wine Ridge. And if you want to find out more, you can get in touch with Never Forgotten. You can even buy a ticket at Wine Ridge RV Resort, and I definitely recommend this. I mean, I laughed the whole entire time.
It sounds like a lot of fun. What a great way to do a fundraiser.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.
Good night.